What up? What up? It's another Sunday and it goes down in the valley. We headed to the pink. Y'all know this is my favorite TV show right now, PValley, and this is episode 5 recap. Oh man, if y'all remember, Mercedes got on her mama head last week for that money. But hey, let's jump right into it. But before we go anywhere, shout out to the notification gang. Y'all the ones that make this thing happen. And if you're new to my channel, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Hey, I'm not gonna hold you up. Let's jump right into it. This is episode 5 of PValley, the recap. All right, y'all, say it with me. I've been saying this for 4 weeks straight. Shock value. Opening scene, shock value. So they replaying from last week. While Miss Mississippi was doing her thing on there, becoming the star of the pink, there was a lady in there drunk, recording it, going crazy, got money out the ass. Like, she's in here, she's celebrating with her girls, everything, buying drinks, taking bottles from the bar. She going to VIP room, she buying Miss Mississippi. She like, man, it is what it is. I got this bread. I'm about to spend all of this divorce settlement check. I'm spending it all. So she gets Miss Mississippi in there. She dancing for her, and out of nowhere, the lady starts crying, and Mississippi is like, what's wrong? And she starts to explain that her husband left her. She has all this money, but she's not happy. She doesn't want to go home to a big house by herself. And Mississippi's like, don't worry. You know what I'm saying? God's going to bless you with somebody. He's going to come snatch you up real quick. And the lady just hysterical and drunk. She ends up passing out. Gidget comes in and she starts making a joke like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And Mississippi's like, girl, don't come in here joking. And while the lady is asleep, they look over, and as you can see, it is nothing but money in there. So Mississippi looks at Gidget, girl, let's get this bag. They got that money and got the hell up out of there, left her drunk ass in there sleep. We get to see Uncle Cliff and Lil Murder, they in there. Uncle Cliff getting up. Hey, Uncle Cliff about to get up out of there. They gotta get dressed and get this day going, man. We know the pink is going under, so Uncle Cliff got to make moves. They show Lil Murder, his ass sleep on the couch naked. Now, me personally, when I go to a woman's house, if it ain't that good looking, like, man, this house is a little junky, I'm getting up out of there. But this Lil Murder, and this is the valley, so anything goes. He in there sleep. I would have went home, but he in there sleep. Uncle Cliff comes outside, and all the girls are out there, and they're all looking at the door. And they're like, hey, Uncle Cliff. And Uncle Cliff just automatically thinks, oh, shoot, everyone's out here. Mercedes is dead, because Mercedes left last week, so no one knows where she is. And they're like, no, she's not dead, man. There's an eviction notice on the door. So they like, dang, man, how long you been knowing this and you ain't been telling none of us? What are we gonna do? Uncle Cliff is like, man, one thing we can't do, we can't leave the club. So all the girls are pretty much like, but you're broke, and we're using this club to pay for school and take care of our kids. Uncle Cliff says it's got 14 days on there. Passes out. Uncle Cliff, you're gonna have to get this thing under control, man. Miss Autumn Night, Miss Lakeisha Savage, aka Haley. So she goes to pick up another check. You know, she's been scamming and making this $9,000 ring out. When she gets there, it turns out that she's not allowed to pick up any more money. So during the storm, this place, Telex, they allowed as many transfers as you wanted to help your family, you know what I'm saying, if you need to transfer money, be able to do as many transfers as you need because of the flood that came, tore up everything. So she's up there like, well, why can't I do it anymore? And the lady tells her, hey, the policies changed. That was only during the storm. Now that things are back to normal, you know what I'm saying, it's not unlimited. And looking from your records, your family's looking good. You got 10 transactions. So if we do the math, 10 transactions, she's been doing about $9,000. We can just say she's made $90,000 off of whatever kind of scam she's got going on. While all this is going on, the lady that fell asleep in the club is running away from the cops, ends up getting caught and arrested. Like, come on, man. So it's a lot going on. I want to know what the lady that got arrested has to do with the show, because they wouldn't have showed that unless she's going to be a significant part. So Miss Savage is another story that we're going to have to come back to because she can't get her money. But like I said, the lady that got arrested, that fell asleep at the club, she ends up going to the police precinct, and who do we have there? Miss Mercedes. So Miss Mercedes gets locked up, and she's in here, and when the lady comes in, she's singing a song called Over Love. Pretty much she's singing Lil Murder's song from last night. And then this is when Mercedes finds out that Miss Mississippi went on and performed in her spot to Lil Murder's song. So she's real upset now, like, my mama took my money. Mississippi took the stage. This fool Little Murder got a hit, and people know it. And then she has to take her mug shot. When she's getting put into prison, well, not prison, she's just in the county jail, the little local jail. They end up putting her in the same cell with her mom. So it's men on one side, women on the other, and there's nowhere else to put her. But she goes in there with her mother and immediately starts attacking the mom because, hey, that's $20,000 you done took from me, Ma. I ain't gonna be able to get that back. And now I'm locked up with your ass? Oh yeah, I'm on your ass. Now the story of PValley, the book is opening wide open now, so we get to see a little bit more in depth of what's going on. There's a random guy that goes to the sheriff's station, and he's like, hey, I'm from Houston, you know, the flood, the hurricane it's shooking up everything, and I lost a loved one, my wife, and I can't find her. And the sheriff is like, man, Chuck Alicia, this is far away from Houston. And the guy, he pretty much says, well, you know, that's how far my hope carries me. And the sheriff's like, well, you know, she's been gone for a couple months. We haven't seen her or anything. Do you have a picture? The guy's like, yeah, here go a picture. I'll email it to you. And the sheriff said, we'll put up some signs for you. And then he asked, who will we ask for if we do find her? And he tells the sheriff that his name is Montavious Hill. So Montavious must be the one looking for Miss Haley. I don't know. If he came all the way from Houston, she's been doing something. She might be stealing his money. That's who the money might be coming from, his account. Uncle Clifford and the sheriff have a relationship. We know Uncle Cliff been paying him off pretty much to let him keep his, you know what I'm saying, the strip club open, because Mayor Ruffin doesn't want that strip club there. He wants to shut it down, bring in a casino. And Uncle Clifford's like, hey, sheriff, I'm paying you money. You're supposed to make sure all this is good. And the sheriff is like, I'm doing everything I can within my power. But hey, Ruffin, he's a different ballgame. Ain't nothing I can do about it. So Cliff's just pretty much like, damn, club might be closing. They trying to get me up out of here. They don't want me serving liquor in here still. I got to figure it out. And then Clifford's like, oh, you got Mercedes in there. I need to go talk to her right now. I need her out. Turns out her bail is $2,000. And when she gets there, Uncle Clifford looks and sees that they put Mercedes in there with her mom. And we all know that Uncle Clifford looks out for his girls. And he's like, man, look, I got to get you out of here. We're going to figure it out. And Mercedes tells Clifford, you're $55,000 in debt. Don't spend your money on me. I'll get out of here when, you know what I'm saying, after the weekend is over with. But, hey, you got to take care of the club because I got to come back. Like, I don't have no money. My mom stole all my money. We got to get the club back up and running. Now, Mercedes got to figure out how to get out of jail. Uncle Clifford came up there, talked to the sheriff. The sheriff was part of the eviction notice. And Mercedes is telling Cliff, hey, man, don't spend none of your money. You got to get the club open. So she finally gets to make a phone call. The power comes back on for the phones. And she calls no one but Gidget because that's the only number she remembers. She's like, hey, Gidget, I need your help. I need $2,000 to get me up out of here. Now, these girls, they've been making a lot of bread, but no one seems to have just $2,000 laying around to bail you out. And Gidget's like, all right, man, I'm going to try to make it happen. I'm going to get a couple of the girls, and we're going to put our money together. You know, we're going to try to get you out of here because you the top stripper. Even though Mississippi on our way up, you the top stripper, and we cool, so I'm going to try to get you up out of here. And the whole time this is going on, Gidget's mom's in the background yelling, telling her to get stuff done. And Gidget's like, man, I'm trying to make something happen, get my friend out of jail. Now, I told you earlier that someone was recording Mississippi's performance, and her video then went viral. Like I said, she's about to become the head stripper at the club. It didn't went viral. It's like 10,000 views this morning. It's the evening. Now she's at like 270,000 views. So she done took off. She keeps watching. She's becoming famous overnight. Gidget gets all the girls together. They're there, and they try to get the $2,000 bail placed, and the guy's telling her, nah. It was $2,000 before Mercedes got locked up. Now, after the processing fees and her late tickets that she hasn't paid, it's about $5,000. And all the girls are like, nah, we ain't got that. We came here to pay this $2,000. We ain't got it. And the bail bomber's like, well, y'all can give us some of that. And they're like, man, hell no, we up out of here. When they all get outside, they're like, man, the first is coming up. We don't have any money. There's nothing we can do to help Mercedes out. If it was $2,000, all right, we got it. So Gidget, she then says, Mercedes would do this for y'all. And everybody's looking like, yeah, well, we about to go ahead and get out of here. So she stays behind, and Autumn is there. They start smoking, and Gidget's like, man, what would you do if someone stole 20 bands from you? And Haley's like, I would kill him. Get his. So now we're starting to see a little something about Miss Haley here, aka Lakeisha Savage. She might be about that action. Back to Mercedes and her mom Patrice in the jail cell, and hey man, church then broke out. This isn't a jail cell no more. We, you know what I'm saying, we turn to listen to the house of the Lord, and she pretty much starts preaching to Mercedes like, you have to forgive me. You know, the Lord forgives all of us for everything we've done. So she starts asking people, what are you in for? Someone's like, oh, I had marijuana. One lady said she slit a guy's throat. And everybody's pretty much just confessing to what they did in there because, hey, man, everybody's in the spirit. And Patrice, she starts talking to Mercedes like, hey, you're going to have to forgive me. But I have a past also. And the things I did in order for you to live a better life. Now, I was on my hands and knees, and God knows it wasn't for praying. So pretty much Patrice is saying, it's like, hey, maybe it was prostitution, but she had to sleep for some money to be able to put food on the table for you. And Mercedes is just sitting there like, nah, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't be listening to this. You stole my money. And Mercedes is pretty much like, that money was for my daughter. You know, you took all my money and I'm trying to get my daughter back. And Patrice is pretty much telling her, hey, you're not ready to be a mother. You know, she lives with her aunt, and that's where she needs to stay. Like, you and your little gym, that's not going to be enough, you know what I'm saying, to take care of a daughter and be able to move on in life. Like, you're not capable of being a mother at this point. Like, you're too far into the game to come back. But to Mercedes, she ain't trying to hear that. And she said she's not forgiving Patrice. She said, you know what? You're dead to me. You're dead to me. We get to see Mayor Ruffin, the mob-like figure in the barbershop, acting a fool because he got a new park opening up. He got the casino coming in. The only thing he can do is go up. Hey, we making moves now. But in comes Uncle Clifford to spoil the party. Now we get to see Uncle Clifford styling and profiling, so we know where the money that he should be putting into the pink is going. It's going into wigs, outfits, and them heels. And I know them heels ain't cheap because Clifford look like he wear about a size 13 in them heels. But he starts talking to the mayor, and he's like, I mean, I see, you know what I'm saying, everyone isn't getting treated around here. And Mayor Ruff is pretty much like, hey, well, you know, some people we got to get rid of. You know what I'm saying? It's just business. Uncle Clifford's like, well, when you're doing that, how come certain people aren't getting the same amount of love, and the pay that you guys are willing to offer for each person's property isn't the same around here? What if I tell the barbershop he's getting half of what the barbershop in the white neighborhood gets? And Mayor Ruff is like, what are you getting at? How do you know this? Uncle Clifford comes out with a land appraisal map, pretty much saying if your place is this is what you get. If you're here, this is what you get. And all of the black places are getting less than what the white people want. So Mayor Ruffin is like, man, I really ain't got nothing to do with that, but he knows it's like, man, the white people are getting a better deal on their property. So Uncle Clifford is like, wait a minute. If everyone is getting this, then I should be able to get a little bit more for my stuff. And Mayor Ruffin is like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Good old Lil Murda makes his way back to the club. So at this point, we just know that Lil Murda does nothing outside of music and go to the pink and try to get on Clifford and get his music played. So he comes back and he's pretty much telling Cliff, like, you left me this morning, you know, I wanted to go more. Like, and Clifford's like, nah, man, I had business due. Hey, you can't just be coming around here. We got to keep things strictly business. Like, you could tell Clifford's like pushing them off. Like, hey, man, back up. Like, you trying to move too fast, go too forward. Clifford's like, hey, we got to keep this business. Long story short, Clifford goes into it like, hey, man, we can't be seen together just because that's not accepted down here. And Lil Murda's like, nah, I want to take you to eat. I want to take you to these places. And Uncle Clifford starts giving details of what's happening. Like, you want to go down to this little river? Last time 2 gays went down there, they ended up in the river dead. You want to go to this little restaurant? Last time 2 dykes went in there, some guys didn't kill them, but they pretty much sexually assaulted them and harassed them. So Uncle Clifford's like, we're not accepted in today's society. And Lil Murda's like, man, forget all that. If I got feelings for you, then hey, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be us, man. So he doesn't understand because he isn't, quote unquote, came out. But Uncle Clifford understands how it is down there and is not accepted. So he's like, I'm not trying to do that. But Murder's persistent like he's been every episode, and he ends up convincing Clifford with a kiss. Mississippi is finally seeing what this fame is doing for her. She's in the club dancing. She's thinking about it, thinking super hard. Comes down, finish her performance. Everybody going crazy. I'm talking about his money everywhere. I'm like, dang, let me borrow $1. So she's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Things went viral. I'm making some money. I'm moving forward. She goes outside after she finishes performing to get her child, where they usually just hang out in the back. And we get to meet a guy named Derek. It's a white guy. Now, I'm assuming this is her baby father. And he's pretty much telling her, hey, you don't have to be in a strip club. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to dance. You can come stay back with me and I'll take care of you. I'm back at my shop, so money is good. I take care of you and the kid. And she's telling him, no, I have to strip. This is what pays the bills. This is more of a family for me than being with you. I don't want to go back there. So he then says, I see why you're going viral. Like, you're beautiful. What you were doing up there is amazing. Yeah. And she's just like, you know what I'm saying, thank you, but I got to get up out of here. Like, I got my kid. I'm stripping. Let me go make my money there. Just leave me alone. And of course, who do we have in the back? Good old security guard Diamond. Now, we know that him and Mississippi got a little thing going on. And I think this is the time for him to make a move. Next week, Diamond, you got to make a move, man. You see she got rid of the baby daddy. She's stripping. She's blowing up. You got to get her before she's too famous, man. You already got a connection, man. Make the move. When Mississippi was leaving with her child, she went back through the club and she ended up seeing Little Murder and Uncle Clifford in there kissing. And Uncle Clifford was like, oh man, here we go. And Little Murder's like, don't worry about it, I'll handle her. But now it takes us to the two girls we've been all wanting to know. Will they clash or will they get together? Autumn and Mercedes. So Autumn actually bailed Mercedes out. But the reason she bailed her out is not because of the kindness of her heart, but she has to keep her little scheme and scam going on. So she takes Mercedes to where she stays. And she pretty much tells her, like, I never had a plan when I left. I just knew I wanted better. So what I can do is come inside, let me show you something. So she pulls out some money and she hands it to Mercedes. And Mercedes is like, I'm going to pay you back all your money. And Autumn's like, nah, don't worry about that. But I got an idea. And Mercedes is like, why are you stripping if you have all this money in your refrigerator? Like I said, it's about $90,000, not including whatever tips she had from the club. And Autumn is like, you know what? Let me show you something. Because I like stripping, that's why I strip. But right here, I can get you $10,000 by the end of the week. So what she's doing is showing Mercedes, she's bringing her in on her scam. Since she can't get any more money, I need to bring someone else in that can get some money. So what she's telling Mercedes is like, if you go do these drops, you go pick this money up for me, I'll cut you in $10,000 a week. Maybe $10,000 a week, or maybe a one-time $10,000. But I need other females to come in with me to collect this money. And Mercedes is like, all right, I'll do it. Autumn started to enter Mercedes' name in, and she's like, hey man, don't put my name in there. So she pretty much put a fake name in there. Crystal Flowers is her name, And Autumn is like, oh. So, okay, we should be doing this. So Mercedes is bringing a little bit to the scam. And I don't know how much money they're going to make off of this, but I'm sure it's going to start off good and it's going to get bad because this scamming stuff never lasts for too long. This whole time, Montavious has been tracking Haley down from Houston down to the Mississippi in the valley. And how he's been doing that is, it looks like Haley's been pulling money from his account. So every time she withdraws money, it shows the exact location, and all of it's down here in the valley. And like I told you, Mercedes used the name Crystal Flowers because it's the last thing she ate, the restaurant Crystals. And he's in the city. We know that because he has the cup right there that says Crystal. So he is going to be on Autumn's ass. He wants that money. And now you about to bring Mercedes into it. Like I said, man, it can only go wrong. That scamming is going to catch up with you. And that's episode 5 of PValley. Comment below, what do you think is going to happen with this scamming coming on? Do you think Montavious is going to run into Haley this week? Well, next week? Let me know below. Hey, because it's about to get super crazy. We got Mercedes and Autumn teaming up to scam. Hey, man, it's about to be real lovely. But hey, that's episode 5. Thank you for watching. We're going to be here next week for episode 6. Whew. It's a good one, man. This is PValley. Thanks for watching. Every subscriber counts, man. Like, comment, share. Hey, let's come back next week ready.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.